Hello everyone, welcome back to Nails by Sora. I hope you're doing well. So this is going to be another come to work with me style video where I have my client at my home and I'm doing her new set. Now I only have one client at the moment that comes to my home. I do have a lapel camera that I got for my birthday from my sister. Thank you very much. I have to test it though and see how it works because the quality does seem like it's a bit grainy. I don't know if it's because I first tested it out in a low light scenario. My desk in the salon has a lot of good natural light coming in and my desk light, so I'm hoping that that will create a good environment for recording. Plus I have to also clear it with my bosses and with my clients to see if I can record them while I am working on them. So I am working on bringing more videos so that I don't just have the one client that I am working on. But this video is going to be a little bit different because I'm not going in and doing another acrylic fill. I'm not using acrylic in this video at all. My client wanted me to do a full removal. As you can tell, it's quite necessary at this point, being 9 weeks out from the original set. And also she had 2 nails come off. Now it was really funny because she was confused as to why there was no damage to her nails when the 2 nails that popped off did come off. And I can understand a lot of times you go to these chop shops, so to speak, where the whole goal is to get you in and get you out. They work quickly, they work a little bit more sloppily, and they often overfile your natural nail to the point where you have that visible ridge between the new growth and the old set that's growing out. But she didn't understand why when her nails came off, they came off completely clean and there was no damage underneath. And I'm like, I'm sorry? Did you want damage? But yeah, so unfortunately 2 nails did pop off. But as I said, they were 9 weeks out, having had only 1 fill in between. So if they're going to come off, I'd rather they come off cleanly so that there's no damage. But since her natural nails had grown out, she wanted to try to just build on top of them naturally. So I am doing a full removal and then I'll be going in and doing a soft gel overlay. So I did start out with a carbide bit, a coarse carbide bit. It's a bit old. It wasn't quite doing the trick. It was taking a little bit more effort to get the product off, so I switched to a silicone cone bit, which is working quite well. And I rather almost use them on myself as well, but for some reason the silicone bits are one hand dominant. So when you go and purchase them, they either are right-handed or left-handed. So obviously I don't want to keep switching bits when I'm going from hand to hand when I'm doing my own sets. So I'm reserving them for just use on my clients since I'm only using my one hand when I'm doing their sets. But I'm finishing up doing the removal of the color and I'm trying to file down as much as of the, what is it called? Acrylic as possible. And then I'm going to wrap them in foil. With the foil pieces that I have already have the cotton pad attached, so I put the acetone on the cotton pad, I wrapped the finger with the foil, and then I had wanted to put a glove on her hand, but the gloves I have are size small and her hands are a little bit larger than mine, so they weren't going over the gloves. So I just left her hand with the foil on it. Sans a glove. Typically speaking, when you want to do a full removal, you want to have the hand covered either by a heating pad or you want to have the hand wrapped in a glove because that locks in the heat. It also stops the acetone from evaporating, which is going to help the product come off the nail a lot faster. But as it turns out, I had removed enough of the product that it really didn't need to sit that long, and not having the hands covered really didn't cause too much of an issue. So now we've been sitting for about 12-15 minutes with her hands wrapped in, or her nails rather, wrapped in the tinfoil, and I'm just using my 180 grit sanding band to further remove the product. Did have to go over it a little bit and be very gentle. Her nails were a little bit thin from other product that she had on her nails, other times that she had her nails done before she started coming to me. So as I was going, if I had trouble removing it, I just rewrapped the nails in foil and started working on other nails. I didn't really have to double back too much. One pass worked just fine. It was just that one ring finger that had a little bit trouble removing the product. So after you remove all your product, you want to go in and you want to shape the nails. She wanted to keep them square, slightly coffin, but not really too tapered, just a little narrowed so that it slimmed out her fingers and her nails. And I don't know what I was... Oh, I think I was explaining to her. She didn't remember from the last appointment exactly what the coffin shape was, so I was explaining to her that it tapers in slightly. So now I'm going ahead and evening out her nails, slightly tapering them into a coffin before we go ahead and start cleaning up the cuticle and pushing back the nail fold. Alright, so after I finish with all the sanding and everything and I'm ready to get on with the manicure, I go in and I dust off the hands and I spray with alcohol to really clean the nail beds. Don't send them to wash with water because you don't want to hydrate the nail beds or the skin. It will prevent the product from sticking properly. Now, I thought I was recording already. Apparently, I wasn't. But I'm going in and I'm starting off with the application of the Builder Gel. So I am using Light Elegance, their Clarity Builder Gel. It comes in a bottle, which I prefer. I did use Commit, which is the primer that goes on first, and now I'm putting on what's called a slip layer. Slip layer is just a thin layer that goes across the entire nail, and it's what's going to help level out the thicker layer that you put on afterwards. You just want to float it across the nail. Start at the proximal nail fold, rock it back and forth. Do not lift the brush up and put it back down on the nail, disconnecting the brush from the gel because that's going to pump air into it. You want to keep it connected and just keep it moving down as best as possible. Of course, if you don't have enough on the brush, you could always go and grab more, place it back down on top of the bead that's already there, fill out the rest of the nail, level it out with your liner brush, and then put the hand in to cure once all 5 nails are done. I go in and I flash cure each nail independently so it stops it from moving on the nail, which you'll see as I do the second hand. So I'm going in with Commit right now, which is the primer, and now I'm going to start in on the pinky nail with the slip layer and then placing the larger bead and pulling it down the nail and rocking it from side to side. Going in with my liner brush, pulling it around the cuticle along the side wall, the nail fold, and then along the side walls, and then just making sure that it's all level before I flash cure it. Now, she was getting some heat spikes because her nails are really thin, so I started with the lamp a little bit further away and pulled it in closer once it started to cool off and her finger got used to it. And then once she put her hand in the lamp, if she experienced heat spikes again, I told her just to pull her hand out, put it back in, pull it out, put it back in until the heat spike stopped, and then she cured her hand fully. I'm going to repeat the same process with all 5 fingers. And then we're going to get into polishing her nails. She did choose, there was a bit of confusion. I did show her my swatch book of nail art samples and she settled on the cat eye gel. I thought she was pointing towards the blue one that we end up using, which I used a blue for the base color. She had wanted the red, so unfortunately, I think she was a little bit disappointed in the end. She did say that she liked it, but she had intended on having the red cat eye gel. So, but you're going to see me apply it and how I use the magnet, and then we're going to finish up the manicure. So it's completely personal preference, but I like to use a tone of color that is in the cat eye gel. So since we're going with a blue cat eye gel, I wanted my base color to be, or I wanted her base color to be blue. So this one is Millennium Enterprise Femme Après. I'm going to do 2 coats of it on each hand before going into the cat eye gel. So I really love the Après gels. I love their brush especially because it is tapered, or I should say it's rounded, so that it can really tuck into the cuticle line and create a seamless progression from the cuticle line up to the free edge. Did have a little bit of cleanup. I have these micro Q-tips that I absolutely love. I've started using them in the salon as well, and they just make things a lot easier. Sometimes the brushes can be a bit large and they hold too much acetone in them. This, you really don't have to use acetone at all. You just wipe away from the cuticle line or the free edge and you get a really nice clean application of your gel color. The cat eye gel I am using in this video is Sage Bio. I did show how to use it in another video. You can click the cards up at the right to if you want to watch that video. You can of course wait until after you watch this video and find it in the channel, but if you want to click out right now, you can click in the top right hand corner for that video. So I'm just doing I'm not going in heavy handed. I don't remember why I wiped it off. I think maybe I was having trouble getting the... Oh, okay. So this is when she said that she had wanted the red. So we tried to see what it would look like layering the red over top the blue. And I actually quite liked it. it made it kind of purpley and made it a little bit different, but she figured we'd just stick with the blue. So wiping it off again, and we're going to go back in with the Sage Bio. But just putting on, you know, a regular amount of gel over top, not too thin of a layer, not too thick, and then using a rounded magnet to go around all sides to really bring out that magnetic field, magnetic look, and then flashing it so that we can go and do all fingers and it doesn't move around, because if you try to do all 5 fingers at the same time, the magnetic particles are going to shift again, and you won't get that pop of, you know, you won't get that effect that you want. So as soon as you get the look that you want from it, you want to flash it, you know, freeze it so that it doesn't move, and then move on to the next nail. And once you finish all 5 fingers, you can go ahead and pop it in the light. You only need to do 1 coat. I've tried doing multiple coats. I found it doesn't really add too much to it. So 1 coat is fine. And of course you can create patterns if you're comfortable with that. I am still trying to figure out how to make the patterns appear that I want. So just bringing out the overarching reflective nature of the gel is what I was going for with this manicure. So I'm going to finish up this hand. I'm going to do the other hand, and then I will wrap it back up. I'm going in with the top coat to finish off the manicure, and then a little bit of hand cream and cuticle oil. And that's going to finish this video. Thank you so much for joining me. I do like to finish at the end with a little bit of a buff underneath the nail, so that if there's any hairs that got caught, or if there's any rough edges from the filing, the gel helps seal the nail, so then you can file and you won't further split the nail. And as long as you file underneath the nail and not against the gel, you're not going to do any damage to the gel that you just applied. So as I said, finishing off with some cuticle oil, and I'm going to take some photos, and that's going to wrap up this video. Thank you again so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do like this style of video, please let me know down below. In the comment section, I will leave all the information for the products I used in the description box below. And I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.